The Dunlap Eagles use a late rally to wrap up at least a share of the Mid-Illini Soccer title tonight. The Eagles hosting a Morton Potters team that has pulled off upset after upset this year, and the Potters led this game 1-0 at half. They maintained that lead throughout the second half. Levi Sander the save right here. But with about 15 minutes to go, Jackson Orris in a crowd of Potters, a little stop and go, a little stop and go again, and one-on-one with the keeper, an electrifying goal ties the match 1-1, and he's not done. Moments later, Brett Hansen, the big throw-in. Edion Hazarol will head it ahead, and there's Orris again. He's onside. The ball's in the net, and Dunlap's a Mid-Illini champ. We'll hear from the Eagles tonight on overtime, but Dunlap wins it by a final score of 2-1. Washington battling Canton tonight. There's your 2-1 score. Washington battling Canton. This guy, Washington's been great on throw-ins all year, and Isaac Rowley takes out the middleman, throws it right in the net off a deflection into the goal. That'll count for 1 goal for Rowley. Then John Cliff to Hudson Scribner, and how many goals for Hudson this year? Well, here's one more on the pretty goal by Scribner. Then John Cliff, another assist. He's going to find Isaac Reitz, and you can clearly hear Isaac Reitz call bank shot. Bank. The bank's open. Washington's a winner, 9-0. Panthers win it. Let's head to the Big 12. Huge match tonight for Coach Chapman and the Ironmen, taking on a very good Urbana team. Urbana scored first, but Kai White and the defense did the job after that. He's in position to gobble up a save. Beautiful goal here. Grant Modine sends the ball ahead to Joyce Lubica, and Lubica's going to run on the ball. I think by the time the ball goes in the net, he's got his back to the play, but he knows he has scored the goal. Yeah, he never turned to look. Well, he didn't have to. Normal Community wins at 3-2, a huge Big 12 win for the Ironmen. Now to volleyball for a big Twin City rivalry, an even bigger Big 12 showdown. Second place Normal West hosting first place Normal Community in their home gym. The Wildcats came out ripping. Lainey Thompson to Asia Blanks. Then Ryan Temples to Thompson to Eden Hoffman. Great to see Hoffman back smashing the ball for Normal West, but Normal Community too much. Samantha LeCamp to Michigan State recruit Alana Whitfield for the tip. Then Evie Mounts to Maggie Michaels, who finds the opening deep in the defense right here for an Ironman point. Later, a back row attack by Whitfield, and Normal Community's a winner in 2 tonight. A huge win for the first place Ironman. Mid-Illini leading Limestone, hosting at Dunlap this evening. We'll start our highlights with Mia Lamberti to Bryn Williamson, the lefty, with a big swing. And then Chloe Steer is going to set up Mia Lamberti for the kill for Limestone. Dunlap trying to come back. Kyla Bailey sets up the block for the Eagles, and Dunlap's all fired up, but one block deserves another. Mia Lamberti, the Illini recruit, soars to score with the block, and the Rockets are winners in 2. Morton at Metabora, and boy, the Potters in charge of this one. Leah Kemp is going to set up Izzy Mueller, and Izzy's going to smash one that's too hot to handle off Metabora for a point. Then Harper Struby, the senior, will score for the Potters off the Kemp assist. Metamora trying to get something cooking. Ella Miller to Campbell Brown, but this one is all Potters. Watch the Potters work the ball here to Beck Stock, and Stock with the big set point hammer. Big Morton crowd going home happy. The Potters are winners in 2. Heart of Illinois Conference action had Lexington and Mackinac to play DMAC. Ellie Dowell, the pretty dig. Gracie Stutzman to Reese Seaman for the Lexington point. But DMAC throwing a block party. Anna Schmidtgall and Elena Kuhn set up the block right here. Then nothing a setter loves than the big block. Katie Whitson showing off her athleticism, soars for the block. And DMAC is a winner in 2. Peoria Notre Dame girls basketball is looking for a new head coach. Lane Langhoff, the wildly popular and even more successful head coach of the Irish, has stepped down. Langhoff led the Irish to the 2024 state title and a 2025 state runner-up. But Langhoff and his family are battling some tough times, and we send our prayers, thanks, and ultimate respect to Lane and his family. The Irish intend to name a new coach before the first practice of the basketball season, now less than a month away. Illinois coach Brad Underwood spent Tuesday night in Central Illinois. Underwood, the guest speaker for the kickoff dinner for the Kevin Brown Memorial Tournament of Champions. Underwood certainly sold out tonight's event, but Brad is not just a guest speaker for the Kevin Brown Memorial Tournament of Champions. He's usually at the nation's best Thanksgiving hoops tournament trying to recruit future Illini players. He loves the TOC.
Oh, it's phenomenal. This is one of the best tournaments in the country, and you get the best players, the best teams, and you know, in Washington here, it's part of the culture. I enjoy coming, and I've been fortunate to be here 3 or 4 times because they've got great players, and that's what we're looking for.
We'll hear from Underwood tonight on Overtime.